great players, they have a great organization, and you tell them one thing.
What is good, Raider Nation? It's your boy Raider Alex back with yet another video for you guys. Anybody that's new to the channel, you guys love Raider related content just like this, make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Also make sure to hit that bell notification, that way you get notified every time I post a video just like this one. Without further ado, let's jump right into the topic of this video. The Las Vegas Raiders defense played lights out in interim head coach Antonio Pierce's debut performance, holding the New York Giants to only 6 points throughout 4 full quarters. The Raiders defensive line was just completely relentless, and our defensive backs did a good job in coverage, which led us to be able to generate turnovers for a consecutive week, and that's just something I love to see. This defense is starting to get turnovers, putting our offenses in great positions to succeed. But look, let's watch the film and see what our defense did to completely neutralize the New York Giants. The Raiders defensive line just got after it last week, and here we can see defensive tackle John Jenkins dominate their center, pushes him back into the lap of Daniel Jones, which forces him to just run for his life, and he just barely gets this off for an incomplete pass. Now, the only thing I will say with this defense that still concerns me a bit is the Raiders' defensive interior seems to still struggle stopping the run like we see on this play. Play action pass right here for the Giants, and the Raiders bring pressure on the edge from Marcus Epps. We run a cover one man across the board, and this really should have been an interception from Marcus Peters, but he drops it. Once again, the Raiders defense gets gashed on this outside run by Saquon Barkley. The Giants get aggressive here and try us deep, and when I first saw this play, I thought Marcus Epps made a great play on the ball, but after looking at this, it looks like he was actually a little bit late, and more than anything, this wasn't a touchdown because the Giants wide receiver couldn't get his feet in bounds. Now, although we struggled to contain Saquon Barkley, here the Raiders get a huge defensive stop on 4th and inches, just a great run stuff right here. The Giants try us deep once again, and here they are going to target our rookie cornerback Jakorian Bennett, and although this ends up as an incomplete pass, what I didn't like on this rep is the fact that the Giants wide receiver looks like he was able to gain about a half a step or so on Jakorian Bennett, but this ball was just overthrown by Daniel Jones. So really, against better quarterbacks, this very likely could have been a big gain. Once again, we can see we're struggling against the run, and here our newly acquired linebacker Jalen Smith was unable to come up and make this tackle. He's got to do better. He had a free rush into the backfield. Now, great rep here by the defense. First, we got the Raiders secondary and the linebackers. They got all the quick stuff underneath covered, and before the deep routes can fully develop, we got Crosby who gets into the backfield and just wrecks this entire play for the sack. Finally, here the Raiders show that they can stop that outside zone run that was hurting us so badly, and this was just a great play by John Jenkins to get the tackle for loss. Now right here, this was essentially a coverage sack. There was really nothing open underneath, and their backup quarterback just panics and just scrambles for a few yards. So look, it technically wasn't a sack, but it was 3rd down here, and they needed to get the 1st down and keep the drive alive. Just good coverage from the defense. Another outside zone run that goes for huge yards. Here, Tyree Wilson has to do a better job pushing his man to the outside. I understand it is tough. I mean, he's got 2 people on him, and also we got Amik Robertson who could have done better on the block, but these 2 things combined just led to the Giants being able to create a huge hole for Saquon Barkley. Here, the Giants try the deep pass once again, and this was very well covered from our secondary. Not sure why their quarterback even tried to throw this, but Amik Robertson makes up for the last play, and he gets the interception. And not only is he able to get the pick, he's able to run this back for about 40 yards, which puts our offense in great field position. On the next series, our defense was able to get another interception. Here we are running zone, looks like a cover 3, and DeVito just overthrows this and it deflects off of Marcus Peters' hands and then goes to Nate Hobbs, who was able to get the turnover. I just love to see this. Our defense has been getting turnovers lately. Now take a look right here at Adam Butler. He fakes like he's going to go to the left and then cuts inside, leaves his man completely in the dust, which forces DeVito to run for his life, and then Maxx Crosby comes up with a cleanup sack. Just great stuff here by Adam Butler, essentially causing this sack. Now I included this clip because I love what I saw from defensive end Tyree Wilson on this rep, able to get in the backfield and help stop the run. Now the only touchdown we gave up on the night right here, and it looks like this was on Trayvon Merrick. It looks like Trayvon Merrick blows his assignment. Not sure if he thought Marcus Peters was going to take that zone in the back of the end zone, but it definitely looks like this mistake was on Moehrig, which leads to an easy wide open touchdown for the Giants. Here we see the Giants try to get cute on this trick play on the Philly special, but Marcus Peters right here essentially just stops this play by just being disciplined to his defensive assignment and not coming up as soon as he sees the ball being handed off to the running back. Just good stuff right here. Another great job by the defensive line. We got Crosby creating pressure off the edge, forces the quarterback to step up, and then Adam Butler gets free, and eventually Bilal Nichols is able to get the sack. Fourth down here for the Raiders defense, and Amik Robertson right here just gets a massive hit. Just a great play right here, able to jar the ball loose for an incomplete pass. Just Amik Robertson really came alive in this game and brought a lot of energy to this defense. Here linebacker Amari Burney should have got this sack, but luckily Adam Butler was once again able to get the cleanup sack. And here we got our rookie cornerback Jacorian Bennett with good man-to-man coverage on this dig route. So Raider Nation, overall I've been very pleased with the defense this season. They had another great performance last week against the New York Giants. Really showed out for Antonio Pierce in his debut performance as the interim head coach. And what I'll say with this defense is, are we a top 10 unit yet? No, I don't think so. A lot of the really good games we've had has been against inferior offenses, but look, at the end of the day, you got to play who you're playing, and you need to take advantage when you play these type of offenses. And even a couple weeks ago when we went against a good offense in the Detroit Lions, look, we did pretty damn good on defense. They were able to get 3 turnovers. It was just that the offense was that terrible that really led us to lose that game. But the defense put us in a great position in that game. The Raiders defensive line have done a great job creating pressure, and I really like the personnel we have in the secondary group. Now the one thing that I still notice that needs to be fixed with this defense is our ability to stop the run. The New York Giants had success running the ball on us, but since we were able to get to such a big lead, being up 27-0 at a certain point in the game, look, essentially the Giants just had to scrap the run game out of their playbook to try to get back into the game. At the linebacker position, we are pretty banged up. Divine Diablo was out. Luke Masterson was out. We had to sign Jalen Smith. So maybe once our linebacker core gets a little bit healthier, maybe we can do a little bit better against the run. But look, I really wish we could have made a move at the trade deadline for a run-stuffing defensive tackle. But at the end of the day, this is what we got, Raider Nation. The Raiders defense as well have shown that they have a lot of confidence and swagger, which is just a huge component to having a competent defense. Just the energy on this defense was on another level against the New York Giants. And I'm sure this defense will go to hell and back to fight for their guy, Antonio Pierce, which I love to see that. I hope they can keep this up. And look, the opposition we played in the New York Giants wasn't great. I understand that. But at the end of the day, if we still had Josh McDaniels, I say we probably lose that game. Or if we would have won that game, we would have just barely scraped by like we did versus Green Bay and versus the Packers, which were both inferior teams to us in my opinion. But we saw in last week's game just a new type of energy and confidence and swagger being dealt by this defense and just from the team overall. And the Raiders finally dominated the team for 4 quarters, and they just imposed their will on the Giants. The Raiders defense should have another favorable matchup against the New York Jets next week, so I'm just very excited to see this team moving forward this season. And if the defense can continue to create turnovers and generate pressure on the quarterback, this defense will be just fine in my opinion. But Raider Nation, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Anybody that's new to the channel, you guys love Raider related content just like this, make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. With that being said, I will see you guys in the next one.